Hey, folks. As we've all been reading in the news, our embassy in Benghazi, Libya, was attacked, burned. Personnel were murdered, including the ambassador. Something doesn't smell right. But let's back up and let's look at this whole picture. How did we get to this point? Um, as we all know, Libya's dictator that was replaced Muammar Gaddafi. He wasn't just replaced. Yeah, there was a civil uprising and he was killed. Um, some of us older folks here, we know who Muammar Gaddafi was. Muammar Gaddafi, he was a son of a bitch. He really was. Um, but he he kind of, back in the 80s, Reagan tried to take him out, ended up taking out part of his family. At that point, Gaddafi kind of minded his own business. And fast forward a little bit to George Bush when he attacked Iraq. Um, it so scared Muammar Gaddafi that he actually kind of threw open his doors and said, hey guys, I got some weapons here, some WMDs that I probably shouldn't have, because he feared what we would have done. He knew George Bush meant what he said. Um, I'm not saying he wasn't a son of a bitch, but he certainly was in line. And if you want to call it a respect or you want to call it a fear for the United States, so be it. But he was replaced by this Muslim Brotherhood. Nobody knows that much about him. Who's the Muslim Brotherhood? Excuse me. What do they stand for? You know, our president, Barack Obama, with that Arab Spring when all this stuff started happening, he thought it was great. He was all behind him. In fact, our Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton, came out and made a comment. She said about Muammar Gaddafi. Excuse me. Her comment was, "We came, we saw, he died." You know, I mean, come on. I mean, they wanted to bash Bush for acting like a cowboy. That's ridiculous. And it was kind of interesting. I can't remember if it was on the Rush Limbaugh show or Glenn Beck. They had an ABC News reporter back in the day, asking people over there, what do you think of Barack Obama? And they're like, hey, and it was kind of funny because everyone that they interviewed said, he has nothing to do with this. This is all us. But that's the media trying to, make Obama seem like he was instrumental behind these so-called democracies. But, interesting enough, with the Muslim Brotherhood, both in Egypt and in Libya and throughout the Middle East, Obama is giving hundreds of millions to billions of dollars. The Muslim Brotherhood are not friends of democracy. They are Islamists. They are fundamentalists. And only a fool, and let me repeat that, only a fool would think that if you gave billions of dollars to these people, that somehow none of that money wouldn't trickle its way down into the hands of these rogue. I don't even want to call them rogue. These pockets of they're murders is what they are. It's almost like they're the henchmen for the Muslim Brotherhood. It's kind of like, they do what they do. But let me tell you, if our president and our Secretary of State is giving foreign aid to a government which allows any of that money to fall into the hands of terrorists, that is directly funding terrorism. And last time I checked, under the National Defense Authorization Act, the president wanted to indefinitely detain without charge people that were doing that. So why aren't we raising the question about this administration and this State Department as to why this stuff is going on? That's just something I want you to think about. But now we find out that there was 48 hours notice that this stuff, it says right here, they had credible information 48 hours before. What did they do? Did they take any steps? Nope. Apparently, this attack went on for 4 hours. 4 hours. Are you telling me that our intelligence agencies, our military, is so inept that we didn't know this was going on for 4 hours? Of course we knew something. We knew it was going on. Now I want to know, why didn't we send in any type of asset by air, by land, by sea, whatever it took? Where were we? Was this a political calculation? Did we have military commanders that put politics above the lives of the soldiers that defend our country and our embassies? Those embassies are American soil. An attack on that embassy is no different than an attack on the White House. Now, if anyone has any way of talking to congressmen or senators, you ought to ask them. Say, I want you to look into the fact: did anyone know this attack was going on? Of course we did. Why weren't assets sent in? I don't care. Send in a Tomahawk missile. We can put those things through somebody's window. You can't tell me we couldn't have put one of those down and disrupted that mob. Now we've got an ambassador dead. Apparently, I believe one of his aides are dead. And two Navy SEALs are dead. Why? If U.S. commanders knew about this and they were just fiddle-dicking around, waiting on a green light from the White House to allow them to do something, well, then you're cowards and you ought to get the hell out of the military. And I don't care what rank you hold or how many ribbons you got or medals or bars or leaves. You don't belong in the military. You're not a leader. If you sat there, on your hands because you were afraid to make a move for fear of getting spanked or slapped by the White House, then you're a coward and you need to get the hell out of the way and allow someone to fill that position who will do their job. I mean, my God, if that happened, that's well, we all know Obama went to bed. He didn't know where his ambassador was for 12 hours. But I'm no Hillary Clinton fan. I mean, after all, this is a woman who is a political opportunist. She spent years riding her husband's coattails as governor, as president. She was almost like a co-president. Then she decides to run for Senate in New York. And isn't it interesting? All these years, when she was living in Arkansas, no one knew that apparently she had this Jewish blood in her. And now all of a sudden that she's running for senator in New York. And who was it? Jesse Jackson. I believe it was Jesse Jackson. Called it Town. And which I find a very distasteful slang term. But what do you expect from a Democrat? She all of a sudden finds her newfound Jewish roots now that she wants to be senator from New York, where there's a high concentration of Jewish folks. Isn't that interesting? When she's in Arkansas, don't know anything about it. Now she's in New York. Oh yeah, I got Jewish ancestry in me. Well, gee, she's got to be really effective in the Middle East talking to Muslims. Seeing as she's one, got Jewish ancestry, and two, she's a female. Two things that Islamists pretty much disrespect and disregard and could care less about. I mean, the Muslims listen to her about as much as Bill Clinton did when she, I assume said, "Stop cheating on me, Bill." But you just look at, look at the headlines here. documents go missing, and apparently the documents had shown Libyans that were working with the United States. Oil contracts. You know, folks, this should. I mean, not we actually have a hot. They have a hostage. If this isn't Jimmy Carter uh, all over again, granted, I understand it's, and what I mean by that, I know it's not hundreds of hostages, it's one hostage, but it is the most inept, failed foreign policy. You know it, I know it, anyone who pays attention knows it. And it was odd when all this broke. Mitt Romney came out and he stood by the Constitution. He stood by freedom of speech. This guy who made the video that Muslims found offensive. So what? That's freedom of speech here. But what does Obama do? They run around apologizing, condemning a video of basically butt kissing the Muslims. That tells you everything you need to know about this president. Let me tell you, these fundamentalists do not care. You can say you're sorry. They don't care. Unless you convert, then you need to die. That's it. They want an Islamist world. Period. Don't apologize to them. That's a sign of weakness. The only thing they understand is force. So, but I hope I brought a few things up here. I hope you guys really think about what's going on. If you're an Obama supporter, really ask yourself, why was nothing that 4 hours? Did we not have intelligence that knew what was going on? Did we not have a single military asset, a ship with a cruise missile, a Tomahawk missile, aircraft? I mean, we have aircraft that can fly in excess of 1,500 miles an hour. They could have been there in an hour. Did we have no one that knew about this? If we did, we had no one capable of making a decision. What did we learn from 9/11? Are we not prepared for anything? Folks, I just really want you to think about this and ask questions and this is just intolerable, and I would hope that this presidency is removed come November. We can't tolerate 4 more years of this guy. He's a disaster. His policies are a disaster fiscally, economically, militarily, foreign policy, everything. This administration is killing this country, and I don't say that this isn't a Republican thing. This isn't a Democrat thing. This is an American thing. And this president does not stand for any of the values or traditions that this country has stood for and has put us in the position as a world leader and a world superpower. Not only do Americans depend on this, but every country depends on the United States. We are the firewall between good and evil. And we need someone in that office who understands that. So ask yourself the tough question. Think about this and call your politicians, tell them how you feel. All right. Thanks for watching.